6'4", 265-pound junior. And perhaps on the other side, one of Arkansas's top high school players and perhaps the top high school recruit in the state, Scott Long, 6'4", 235-pound senior. Talking to Dwight Fite earlier in the week, he said there may not be a better defensive player on this ball club than Scott Long. And here come the 1987 Benton Panthers. And the Benton Panthers come out to Pink Panther. They do it well, maybe not the most opposing song, but let's set the rest of that defense. They don't play like Pink Panthers. Greg Mundy, he's a fine one, 6 foot, 205 pounds. He's the only sophomore that will start tonight. He'll be at the nose guard position. The linebackers tonight, Bobby Van Cleve, 5'10", 170-pound senior. He's a big play man. The other linebacker, he'll double as a running back, Kirk Shelnut, 6 foot, 175 pounds, a junior. Defensive backfield, Monty Cornwell, 6'4", 175 pounds. He'll double as a wide receiver. The other cornerback, Craig Lincoln, 5'10", 175 pounds, a senior. He'll double as a running back. The safeties, Robert McNeely, the fullback, 5'9", 185 pounds, senior. And Shane Smith, 5'11", 165 pound junior. And quickly, let's check in with Bob Edmondson, who's got a heck of a quarterback standing by his side.
That's right, Steve. We've got the quarterback of the 1977 Benton Panther football team, Ricky Spivey. Ricky, what are your feelings as you come back to C.W. Lewis Stadium tonight? How do you feel right now?
I feel real good. There's a lot of big memories for me here. It's really great to see guys that I got to play with 10 years ago, and also looking forward to seeing this new Panther team.
What is one of your fondest memories from the 1977 championship season?
Most memories come from being able to know these guys that I got to know personally back then, and you know, winning a state championship was something that don't come along real often. That means a lot.
What are you doing these days, Ricky, and where do you live?
I live here in Benton, and I've been working at a bank in Little Rock and going back to school and working on my undergraduate degree and just keeping real busy.
Okay, thank you very much. Ricky Spivey, the quarterback of the 1977 state champions. Steve?
Okay, joining me in the booth right now is the man who's responsible for getting me to do these broadcasts, Mr. Randy Bridges. And Randy, just seconds away. Any quick prediction?
Well, Steve, I'll tell you, the Panthers look awesome out there, and they line up. There's some big guys, but looking across the field at the orange and black, Malvern, those guys are pretty good size, too. It's, you know, last year at this time, I went down to the game at Malvern, and really everybody expected Malvern to win, and I kind of did, too, I'll have to admit, and the Panthers came on strong, but I think the Panthers have got what it takes this year, and I think we can expect a good year from them. I'll pick Benton tonight. I'll have to pick Benton by 6 points.
I've got a feeling this is going to be a blowout, Benton way, but feelings don't count. And Scott Long's going to get us started. Benton has deferred the option. They'll be working right to left and kicking off. And Long is into it. Line drive. It's going to be fielded at the 12. Now fumbled and regained. Out across the 15, cutting left at the 18. It's stung at the 21-yard line by 6 or 7 Panthers. In among the bunch, Will Connell, a 5'11", 150-pound sophomore. And Dwight Fite likes to see that as Benton will take over on defense, as Malvern will take over 1st and 10 at their own 22. And not a bad job by the kick team.
Real good coverage. It helped that he bobbled the ball a little bit because it's a line drive kick, but there were certainly several there to make the tackle.
Brandon Jones gets the start at quarterback for Malvern. They'll run from the wishbone set too. The up back is William McNeely. The halfbacks, Marshall Murdoch and Lamar Rose. Rose the fine one. The give goes right side to Rose. He's out across the 25 to the 26. A host of maroon jerseys are there to stuff them there on the bottom of the pile. I see Kyle Snyder, and I see Kelsey Dedman, and also in there, big number 66 as we change numbers a little tonight. That's Greg Mundy, a 6 foot, 205-pound sophomore. Give Malvern on 1st down, a gain of 5 on just a quick shot off right tackle.
The Leopards just kept it simple there, just simple off-tackle play to start it.
2nd down, 5 yards to go for Malvern. Turn and give goes right side across the 30 to the 31-yard line, and then stuffed up there is Marshall Murdoch. So it'll be 3rd down and call it a couple. Once again, the inside of the Benton defensive line with the stop. So it'll be now 3rd and 2.5 for Malvern as the ball, they spot it just outside the 30. And we're just underway, 10:40 to play in the 1st quarter.
You got to wonder, of course, you come out and try to establish the run, but so far Malvern's first 2 plays may be at the at the strength of the Benton defense, the middle three.
Here we go, third and call it just a short 2 yards. Turns and gives. It's going to be close to a first down. Benton, a good job on the inside of the defensive line. Kirk Shelnut came up and gave support from the linebacker position, and it is going to be close. Rose had the carry, and now they say move the chains. And Malvern on 3 pops has a first down, and David Alpe starting a young team on offense. 3 sophomores, 6 juniors, and only 2 seniors, and he has to be happy with those first 3 plays.
That's got to give the young guys a little confidence. 3 plays right at Benton's strength, the middle defensive 3, and 1st and 10.
Brandon Jones, junior quarterback. He'll alternate with Johnny Gibbs. Gives a look, now takes the snap. Option left, the ball's on the ground. The pitch is going to be covered, but back at the 28 by Malvern. Good job of cutting off the quarterback, and Benton, like bees, swarmed to the back. Among others in there from his defensive back spot, or from his defensive end spot, Billy Lincoln, 6'1", 175-pound junior.
Lincoln did a good job on that, too. He came from the opposite side, the left side, all the way to the right side. Pressure on the quarterback forced a bad pitch, and Malvern was fortunate to get it back.
So now Malvern in a 2nd down and 15 position at their own 29-yard line. Quarterback turns, gives to Rose. He's stuck in the backfield. Be a loss of 1.5 yards, and that looked like Scott Long sticking his big frame in there at 6'4", 235 pounds. And usually Scott hits once, and that's it.
Scott made a good play there. He didn't start the game because after he kicked off, it came off, and Heath Nix, sophomore, was in there. Scott's been in the last 2 or 3 plays. He whipped his guy that time and made a good tackle for no gain.
Definite passing situation for Malvern. 3rd down, call it 15 yards to go. The ball spotted on the 29-yard line. Have to get close to the 45-yard line. Rose turns, looks, he's got time. He loses the handle. It's on the ground. It's Benton football. Now they call it an incomplete pass. The ball slipped out of the quarterback's hand, Brandon Jones, and was covered immediately by Benton. And that was an awfully close call. I don't have a good view from the press box, Jeff, but my vote's for fumble.
Boy, I'd agree with you, Steve. You got to think at home you'd get calls like that. You could see the quarterback going back to pass, and like the ball was just spinning around in his hand, and it just fell off. He never cocked it or anything, but hey, this stopped his time to punt.
Jones had plenty of time to throw the football. He just lost the handle. Back deep is Tommy Jumper at the 32-yard line. Wade Daggett will do the punting at the 15. The pressure's on. He's going to get a kick off. The pressure was on, but no flag. It's going to bounce at the Benton 42, take a Malvern roll to the 39-yard line. And there was contact with the Malvern punter, but no call. So Benton will take over in good field position at the 39. And Dwight Fite probably had to be holding his breath a little as he watched the referee analyze the play.
And maybe that's one of those calls where being at home helps. Of course, the contact, I think Mr. Daggett may have provided a little extra acting there.
So the Benton offense gets its first shot in 1987 with 8:34 to play in the first quarter. Tommy Jumper, he's a good one. Ball near side of the field. One receiver, left side, that's Jason McGee. Wishbone set, Jumper turns and gives. Good hole off the left side as Craig Lincoln pounds for 3 yards out across the 43-yard line, running right behind Jeff Rivers and Bill Froke. So call it 2nd down and 7 yards to go. The ball still on the near side of the field, closest to the Benton sideline. Dwight Fite calls the offensive plays. He alternates his split ends, Jason McGee and Monty Cornwell. Cornwell comes into the ball game with the play. Monty comes near side of the field. He's 6'4", 170 pounds. Jumper looks at the Malvern front, looks left, looks right, under center. 2nd down, 7 yards to go. Turns, options right side. Jumper hit, but gets the ball to Lincoln. He cuts across the 45, out to midfield, and it's going to be a first down for Benton at the Malvern 49-yard line. There you see the experience of Tommy Jumper. He was cut off, but Craig Lincoln, also a senior, did a fine job of not just running out there. He waited for the play to develop and then cut for the first down. It'll be first down Benton on the Malvern 49-yard line.
That's what you like in the wishbone. When you get your quarterback pitches the ball, you got it isolated out there on the cornerback with the block. 1st and 10.
2 plays and a first down for the Panthers. The ball shifts to the right side of the field. Wishbone set into the near side of the field. Split wide to the right side is Jason McGee. Jumper turns. He gives to the deep back and smashing his Shelnut to the Malvern 45-yard line. Now Kirk Shelnut at 6 foot 175 pounds runs almost standing up, but he packs quite a wallop when he comes around that left side, and he gained a good 4 yards on that play. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 yards to go. If there was any position Dwight Fite was perhaps a little concerned with early on. It has to be the running backs when you lose guys the quality of a Callahan and a Corey Hill.
Well, those type come along few and far between, but hey, there's not much of a drop-off. Shelnut's a good ball player.
Second down, 6.5 yards to go. The ball now moves to the middle of the field, still in the bone. Jumper looks, turns. He's going to take it near side of the field. He's going to throw. He's got Scott Long. Long at the 30, down to the 27-yard line. Hey, and credit Tommy Jumper as much as Scott Long, because I thought for a long time that Jumper was carrying the football. He carried out the play fake to perfection, and as a result, Benton in business at the 27-yard line. And boy, is it good to see a target as big as Long loping free.
Scott has excellent hands, but Tommy did a good job there on the naked bootleg, running down the line, then he dropped back. He has the choice to either run or throw there, and when you got Long in there wide open, why not give him the ball?
Scott Long caught 30 passes last year. He's got one on the board for 87. He lines up left side of the line. Benton options right side. Jumper wants to keep. He's knocked down in the backfield for a loss of 3 yards. Fine defensive play made on the line by Shane Pierce, a 6'3", 183-pound senior. Jumper slippery, elusive, but that time Pierce managed to corral the senior quarterback, and as a result called a loss of 2. 2nd and 12, the clock. Inside 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Still no score, but Benton threatening.
Throwing Benton for a loss may put you defensively in a bad situation. They have to pass.
Cornwell into the ball game, and we see the first handkerchief of the season come raining onto the field. And we'll have to wait and see, but the preliminary celebrating is done by the Benton offense, and they could use 5 yards at this point, and it looks like they're going to get it. Offsides will go against Malvern, so then instead of a 2nd and 12, a 2nd and 7, and out immediately comes Cornwell, and goes back in is McGee with a new play, so Dwight Fite's thinking changes dramatically on a situation like that.
When you go from 2nd and 12 to 2nd and 7, boy, it's light and day. Now instead of a passing situation, the defense, they got to think, well, they may still run the ball. You don't know.
So Jason McGee, 5'11", 165 pounds, comes near side of the field. He draws single coverage from Ken Keith, a sophomore. Jumper waits for the go-ahead from the referee, Ernie Deaton, and gets it. The senior, under center, gives a look at that Malvern defense. Backs tight in the bone. 2nd down and 7. Jumper, left side. He's going to keep it. He's across the 20, 15-yard line, and Tommy is rode out of bounds hard. But not till he gets to the 15-yard line. And for Benton, that will be another first down. And there we see the poise and experience of Tommy Jumper. He saw the opening and didn't even threaten the pitch.
Tommy's been there before, and after you've run the wishbone this is Tommy's 11th, 12th game, 13th game to start. He knows what to look. He knows where the openings are, and when he sees it, he knows when to go.
Let's hear it for the linemen. We usually don't focus on them. In for a few plays was Heath Nix. Big old sophomore, and he must have done a good job because that ball was run to his side that time. 1st and 10 for Benton. 15-yard line of Malvern. First possession of the ball game. Jumper options right side. He wants to throw the ball in and out of the hands of Shellnut at the 5-yard line. You heard it right. In and out of the hands of Shellnut. Tommy Jumper once again executing perfectly. The ball couldn't have been in a better place, but Shellnut's got to have a few butterflies. He's carrying a big load this year.
That's more or less the play that Benton ran to the left side a while ago. They ran it to the right side. Shellnut was out in the flat. Long was a little bit behind him, and Tommy could have thrown to either one, and Kirk was the one that grabbed the ball, but he couldn't quite. He's ready to run. He saw that touchdown.
The Panthers break the huddle, come to the line, 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Jason McGee, lone receiver, wide to the right. Scott Long, near side tight end. The give goes to the deep back and getting down to the 10 and maybe close to the 9-yard line. It'll be now, call it probably 3rd and 5, but that was Craig Lincoln, 5'10", 175-pound senior, and Craig looking good carrying the ball early on in this ball game.
Craig runs like a 4.6 40. He ran that down at the football camp at Northeast Louisiana, but he's also a very strong runner, as he showed there.
It's 4 down territory for the Panthers. Ball just outside the 10, called 11.5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 8 yards to go. The clock, it's inside 5 minutes to play in the first quarter of a scoreless ball game. Benton and Malvern from C.W. Lewis Stadium. Jumper turns. He gives off the left side to Shellnut. He's greeted by 4 white jerseys at the line of scrimmage. Maybe 5, and maybe call it, at most, maybe a gain of 1. That makes up, call it a gain of 2. 4th down and 4 yards to go as the clock winds down to 4:20. And they're not even going to look like threatened field goal at this point with this field position.
Why not? At this point of the game, you're playing against a young team. Go for it. If you don't get it offensively, you got them in a deep hole inside the 10.
Call it 4th and 4. First really crucial play of the 87 season. The lone receiver, near side of the field to the left is McGee. Jumper rolls right. He's looking for long. He's going to run. He cuts inside the 5. It's going to be a first down for Benton at the 3-yard line for the Panthers. And I tell you what, at times there it looked like Tommy Jumper could have hit Scott Long, but instead Tommy said, why chance to throw when I can run it in? And he cut upfield like a shot.
Tommy made the decision there to run and took off. He's got a very quick runner. Scott caught a lot of passes against Malvern last year, and they remembered there were quite a few in his area there.
So it'll be 1st and goal to go for the Benton Panthers at the Malvern 4-yard line. Moving right to left on your radio dial, and there goes another handkerchief. As Scott Long was lining up in the backfield at the right halfback spot, one half of the BB offense. It is delay of game, so he'll bring up a first instead of goal and go at maybe the 2 or 2.5 back to the 7.5-yard line.
For those of you who wonder about the BB offense, the first word is big, and the second one refers to a part of the anatomy. They put 260-pound Kelsey Dedman at fullback and 235 Scott Long at right halfback, and they don't really try to disguise where they're going to run the ball.
And Dedman is in the ball game, so it's big and beautiful in the backfield. Turn, and the give goes right side to Lincoln. He's nailed at the line of scrimmage by 3 white shirts. Call it 2nd and goal to go, and they're going to move the sticks maybe a yard if they're generous. So the clock winds down. We're inside, closing in on 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. And Benton knocking on the door as Heath Nix comes into the ball game, and out goes Jeff Rivers. So Nix will line up at the left tackle spot. The ball at the right hash mark, closest to the Malvern side of the field. It's 2nd down and goal to go. Jumper under center. Left side is Cornwell. He's going to try to hit Cornwell coming over the middle. It's off Monty's hands and incomplete. Oh, and Tommy Jumper says if I hadn't let him maybe just about a foot or a yard back, had a lot of steam on the football. Either Cornwell caught it on the slant or no one caught the ball.
I don't know if Monty was expecting quite the shot that Tommy threw there, because he fired a bullet in there.
Well, Jumper has shown me early in the game that he's not afraid to throw it, and he can throw it. And Jason McGee could be the target. He goes wide right side. It's 3rd and goal to go for Benton at the 5-yard line. Backs in the bones. Still the Hosses in there with Long and Dedman, and we could have Long coming out of the backfield. All kinds of options. Jumper fakes. He's got time to throw. Looking in the end zone. He's got a man. A diving catch. Touchdown. Oh,
Randy Russell.
Randy Russell into the ball game. Nelson Rainey's grandson.
We know Nelson's proud right now. Look at him. He's down there cheering.
And I mean, that was a heck of a catch. He stretched out and went and got the ball in the end zone. What a way to get your first points of the year on the board. Randy Russell, you fill him in on the story, Jeff. A late, invaluable addition to this team.
Randy is Nelson, as we told, Nelson Rainey's grandson. He grew up in Benton for a while. His father is in the Air Force in Germany, but he came back this summer, lived here for a while, liked it, and decided he wanted to come back and play a senior year for the Panthers.
Well, I said Scott Long is probably an all-state tight end, defensive tackle. He's not going to get the kicking award. He misses the point after the right side. It's a 6-0 ball game. We're going to break now for a minute with the score. Benton 6, Malvern nothing. Scott Long, line drive kickoff. It's fielded at the 15, out across the 20, 25-yard line to the 30, and into a host of purple jerseys, or maroon jerseys we'll call them. Benton went 14 plays, 61 yards. Randy Russell on the end of a 5-yard pass from Tommy Jumper, and I mean that was one heck of a catch for a touchdown. And Dwight Fite had released the secret. Randy Russell, he said, was a player, a hitter. I didn't realize he was a catcher.
He has real good hands, they say, and when Scott's in the backfield, they move Randy into tight end.
David Alpe said he wasn't afraid to use 2 quarterbacks, and right away he sends Johnny Gibbs into the game. Same game plan up the middle. No way, the Panther defense says. Just credit the inside of that defensive line. Long, Mundy, Dedman. They said forget it. Call it 2nd down, 9 yards to go. The clock just inside 2 minutes, 20 seconds to play in the first half. And Benton, thanks to a good-looking 61-yard drive and 14 plays, is on the board in the 1987 season. A 6-0 lead over Malvern. Let's see if that changes David Alpe's thinking, as for the first time this game, they break the bone. Send a wing to the right side, give the Rose left side. He comes flying across, but he's stuck as he gets across the 35-yard line. Good job by the nose guard, Greg Mundy. Shot back and made a good tackle as he knocked Rose down one-on-one. And I got to look at Rose's thighs before the ball game, and you might call Lamar Rose thunder thighs. The guy is built.
Yeah, Coach Alpe was talking to us before the game about quickness, and he kind of made references to a team down south here called Arkadelphia is having quickness, and he said Lamar Rose has that type of quickness. He's big time.
It's 3rd down, call it 6.5. The ball just outside the Malvern 36. They have to get to the 43. Nix is going to throw, lobs it over the middle and incomplete. The coverage was there. If the ball was on target, Craig Lincoln was going the other way. He was in perfect position. We got to look at Nix. He sent Gibbs. He sent a floater over the middle. Dangerous pass. And if anybody had a good shot at that ball, if it was on target, it would have been Lincoln. And Malvern right again in a punting situation.
Coach Fight can talk to you all day about how he feels about Craig Lincoln at cornerback. He's a very solid player, and he feels Craig definitely has potential to play college ball there.
Tommy Jumper. Back deep to return the punt at the Benton 25-yard line. Twin safeties at the 35. Punter with plenty of time. Daggett's punt is high. Ranging over, the short man's going to let it bounce, and it's going to take a semi-Benton bounce and roll dead at the Benton 35-yard line. That time, Tommy Cody, the backup quarterback, with a good decision. He had a chance to go get the football or let it bounce. He opted to let it bounce, and it actually took maybe a yard or two in Benton's favor.
Twice, Benton deferred their choice to start the game, went on defense, felt they could stop them, and so far the field position has been a definite plus for the Panthers.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for Benton. They scored on their first possession, going 61 yards. This one starts at the 35. The first started at the 39. Jumper out over the football, turns and gives the shell nut. Kirk breaks a tackle and gets across the 40 to the 41-yard line. And give Kirk individual effort for those last 3 yards, because he was stopped actually at the 37 instead of a 2nd and 7, thanks to Mr. Shellnut's second effort. It's 2nd down and 5 yards, the ball at the 40.
Panther fans will remember last year against Rogers, and it was a one-sided game that Kirk got to run some at halfback and looked good running the ball. He's a year older and a year better now.
Far side of the field. One receiver. It's 2nd down, 5 yards to go for Benton. Jumper turns and he gives. Off the right side for a gain of 3, Robert McNeely. Close to the 48 or 49-yard line. Good job by Rusty Winfield and Tony Guerra. It'll be 3rd down, call it 1.5 yards. McNeely, 5'9", 185 pounds. And that's the end of the first quarter. We played a quarter at C.W. Lewis Stadium. So far, so good. It's Benton 6, Malvern nothing. Let's take a minute break. Third down, 2 yards to go, and Tommy Jumper said to the middle of the line, let's go, guys, it's up to you. And they drive the Leopard defense back, and as a result, it's first down Benton at the 49-yard line. And just credit the inside of the offensive line. They gave Tommy a little breathing room.
There wasn't very much fancy about that one, was there? Tommy just took the snap and followed junior center Dwight Everett straight up the middle.
Monty Cornwell comes near side of the field. 1st and 10, Benton trying to add to a 6-0 lead. Just underway, second quarter. Scott Long, tight end, left side. Jumper wants to throw. He's going deep. He's got Cornwell. It's incomplete. Oh, he just overthrew. Monty Cornwell was all alone at the Malvern 15-yard line. Monty, a 6'4" target, and he stretched that body out maybe to 7 feet and couldn't get to it.
You know, a lot of people talk about the early season games and how the timing might be off just a tad. And maybe in a couple of weeks, Tommy and Monty have just missed on a couple of passes. In a couple of weeks, they'll be hitting on those.
Old Dwight Fight, not a bit, he'll roll the dice. 1st and 10, he goes deep with a 6-0 lead. It'll be 2nd down, 10 yards ago. Long breaks about 3 yards out to the right side. Jumper fakes to the line. He's going to throw. He's looking for Long. He's got Scott first down at the 40. 35. Scott says, come on, Leopards. I'll take 4 of you to the 33. Oh, man. What an effort by Scott Long. The jumper got Scott the ball at the 37, and he said, big guy, take it about 4 or 5 yards. Long faked out one Leopard, then just said, it's me and you, the rest of the Leopard team.
Well, people always talk about what good hands Scott Long has. The big guy is not a bad runner either. Believe me, he's hard to bring down.
He may be the #1 tight end of the state, and that includes colleges. Little over 11 minutes to play in the half. Benton in business. 1st and 10, inside the 30. Jumper wants Long again. Double coverage. It's going to be incomplete at the 15. It was 1st and 10 from the Malvern 33-yard line. Long drew double coverage down the right sideline. Jumper overthrew everybody, which in that case may have been the best idea, although if it comes to a leaping battle, Long will probably have the edge.
It's one thing that should be an advantage for the Panthers this year. They've got 2 receivers who are 6'4", and that's going to be pretty hard for most of your high school defensive backs who are 6 foot or smaller to cover.
Scott comes near side of the line on the right side at the tight end spot. 1 receiver, Jason McGee, far side of the field. 2nd down, 10 yards to go. Benton operating on the Malvern 33-yard line. Jumper, play action, rolls right side. The pressure's on. He fires. It's going to be incomplete. No flag. There was contact at the 25-yard line. Jumper was looking for Robert McNeely, and Tommy Jumper did a good job just getting the football out there. The pressure was on, and he had to throw it on the run. So it'll be 3rd down, and call it now 10 yards to go for the Panthers.
Big Mark Bradford, a 6'3", 210-pound tackle, was chasing Tommy, and Tommy was running out of time there, so he had to fire quickly, and the coverage was good by the Malvern secondary.
So it's 3rd and 10, passing situation. Monty Cornwell split about 20 yards, near side of the field, all by himself. He draws single coverage. Monty, a good 6'4" frame to work with. The clock inside 11 minutes to play in the first half. Benton trying to add to a 6-0 lead. Jumper, options right side. Cuts inside the 30, 25, reaches forward to the 19-yard line. Just like that, it's a 1st down. How do you figure Dwight Fight? He throws on 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd and 10. He hits you with the option.
Boy, Benton, opposing coaches who are scouting this game have got to be thinking, boy, you can't figure out what these guys are going to do. Dwight comes out, throws passes on 5 straight plays. He's in a 3rd and 10 situation. And what does he do? He runs the option for the 1st down.
Timeout on the field. We're going to take a 30-second break with Benton leading 6-0 and trying to add to it. Benton 6, trying to add to it. Malvern nothing. The ball 1st and 10 on the Malvern 20-yard line. Dwight Fight, conference with the troops at about the 27, on their knees without their helmets. And we're going to get down to the field, and amidst a sea of maroon jerseys is our own Bob Edmondson.
Steve, everybody on the Benton High School squad is sky high. As you can probably hear, it's a very, very vocal crew down here on the sideline. Listen, we got to give a big thanks to Perry Goodall. He's the strength coach for the high school, and he has done a great job with those linemen. Jumpers had a lot of time to throw, but the Panthers are really excited. Back up to you.
Well, let's thank the moms and dads, too, for feeding them. They're big guys. I think they average, Jeff figured it out, something like 220 on that offensive line. We're ready to go. 1st and 10 Panthers on the Malvern 20-yard line. Long near side tight end. McGee goes left side. Option left side. Jumper cuts it in the 15 to the 14-yard line. Oh, and Tommy Jumper, he looks better every play. It'll be second down and 4 yards to go. One of the keys to this season, keep Tommy Jumper healthy.
Tommy, one thing White had talked to you about Tommy is the subtlety as a competitor.
It'll be second down and now 4 yards to go for Benton. The ball inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. Senior quarterback gives a look at Scott Long, his tight end to the right side. The Malvern defense, 5-man front, option right side. Jumper is hit, pitches back to Lincoln. He eludes 2 Malvern Leopards and gets down to the 11-yard line. They may spot it at the 10. Oh, and that was one heck of an effort by Craig Lincoln.
He was caught in the backfield there.
It'll be now, call it, well, the referees say, let's call for a measurement. It's that close. It'll either be 3rd and inches or a first down for the Panthers. And Tommy Jumper was in big trouble in the backfield. And Craig Lincoln, after Jumper somehow managed to get the pitch off, didn't look to be in any better shape. But Craig doing a fine job of picking his holes. He's not just going all out. He's looking for the openings in the Malvern defense. As here come the chains across the field, ready to stretch them out. And they give it a look, and it's going to be, oh, he says, maybe an inch or two. It'll be 3rd down for Benton. Now, if you're the Malvern defense, with Benton, you never know. A lot of teams would put maybe 7 or 8 men on the defensive line right now, but you never know with the Panthers. They could just suck it up, and Dwight could decide to just go with Tommy Jumper right over center Dwight Everett again. Here we go. 3rd down, short yardage, clock and even 10 minutes to play in the first half. The 1987 season opener. Benton leads Malvern 6-0. Quick turn. Center wants to talk it over with Tommy Jumper. Now we'll go. Wishbone set. McNeely's the up back. 3rd down, call it an inch. Jumper right up the middle, easily for the first down. He's still going to the 5-yard line.
Boy, Tommy made his initial thrust there and was following Big Dwight, and all of a sudden he popped it loose, and you thought he was going to break it, and they got him at the 5.
So it'll be 1st and goal to go at the 5-yard line. Dwight Everett, the big center, 6'3", 220-pound junior, a good job, and as a result, Benton in business. Clock at 9:40 to play in the first half. Panthers lead 6-0. Cornwell comes near side of the field. Benton operating left to right on your radio dial. The turn and the give to McNeely. He's at the 4, the 3, call it close to the 2 or a 1. So it'll be 2nd and goal to go. A good job by Robert McNeely just burrowing up inside.
Boy, he hadn't been hurt from a lot tonight, but Robert made an excellent run there, spinning and twisting through the middle. I thought for a second there he was going to sneak in.
Dwight with the play to Jason McGee. Confers with his assistants. Check if that was the right call. And here we go. We'll see. It'll be 2nd down, goal to go. They call it on the 2. Ball near side of the field, closest to the Benton cheerleaders. McNeely, Lincoln, and Shellnut set behind Jumper. Jumper to Shellnut. Left side into the end zone for Kirk Shellnut. 12-0 Benton. First touchdown of the season for the 6', 170-pound junior. And let's hear it for the offensive line. Rivers, Frogue, Everett, Winfield, and Guerra. Oh, good job by the Benton Panthers. Now I look down on that offensive line. I see big Dennis Burr in the ball game. I know his dad's here with an eagle eye. Got to be happy with the job his son is doing on that left tackle spot as Benton's in the end zone with the 12-0 lead. They're going to go for 2. Might be a good idea at this point after missing the point after on the first touchdown. Wishbone set behind Tommy Jumper. The senior turns. He's going to throw the ball, looking for Long. He's hit, staggering back at the 12, and finally goes down. Tommy Jumper almost made one miraculous recovery. He was knocked back 4 yards staggering. He was looking for Scott Long to clear. Long got caught up in traffic, but Jumper couldn't get the ball off. We'll take the 12-0 lead and take a 1-minute break with the score. Benton 12, Malvern nothing. You know, the best defense if you're playing Benton, keep the ball away from the offense. 2 drives, 2 scores. It's 12-0. Both drives over 60 yards. Randy Russell is going to get a shot. High driving kick. It's going to come down at the 17. Mike Harbor across the 25. 30-yard line. 35, and he's down there. Randy Russell with a saving tackle at the 35-yard line as Harbor came inches away from saying adios.
Well, we almost had a new game all of a sudden there. Low line drive kick, Harbor got a running start and in the middle, then broke to the side.
He staggered across the 35-yard line, and that's where the Leopards will go in business against the Benton defense. And Malvern needs at least to move the ball to keep it away from the Benton offense. 8:30 to play in the first half. Benton 2 for 2 on offense. As a result, they lead 12-0. Quarterback Rose, options, near side of the field. He's knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Shellnut there along with a good defensive play. Roger Barker, a 6'2", 175-pound sophomore, and they were there like a team. Let's call it a draw or half and half there between Barker and Shellnut.
Well, it was an excellent play by Barker. Dwight's working a lot of new guys in the defense besides the starters. You got Heath Nix at right tackle and Roger Barker on the end.
It'll be second down. They gave Lamar Rose a gain of 1, so call it second down, 9 yards to go for Malvern. Quarterback turns, pitches to Rose. He's across the 35-yard line, 40 first down, 45 across midfield into Benton territory at the 49. It was one-on-one outside, and that looked like Marshall Murdoch, the 5'10", 152-pound junior. Monty Cornwell comes up with the tackle, but fine offensive effort, and it's a first down for Malvern as they move into Benton territory.
Malvern lined up with his strong side to the left and then optioned back to the weak side there and got the advantage that they wanted when they pitched to Murdoch. He was wide open, had lots of room to run.
Lamar Rose, William McNeely, and Marshall Murdoch in the backfield for Malvern. Quarterback wants to throw. He's back there midfield, fires off balance. He's got a man at the Benton 35-yard line. Lamar Rose out of the backfield. First down, Malvern at the Benton 35-yard line.
Brandon Jones is back in the game after sitting out the second Malvern possession, and seemed like he learned something while sitting on the bench. He's come back and got his team going on a good little drive.
Scott Long's rest is over. He's in, Heath Nix is out. Time to get serious. Malvern, first real threat of the ball game, inside the Benton 35 at the Panther 34-yard line. Plenty of time, over 7 minutes to play in the first half. Malvern trailing the Benton Panthers 12-0, and this is the opener of the 1987 season. Quarterback turns and gives to Murdoch. Forget it. 3 Benton Panthers. Long has got him by the feet. Hammering up top is Bobby Van Cleve.
And Roger Barker's in there too.
Those 3 shut the door. It'll be second down. Call it 9 yards to go for Malvern.
Malvern has seemed to found success on the outside and tried to go back inside toward the Panther strength, and they found very little success there.
Michael Chance goes wide right side. It's second down, 9 yards to go for Malvern. Quarterback rolls right. Is he going to throw? Yes, he fires. It's tipped and caught at the 20-yard line. They're going to call it inbounds. Oh, good defense out there, actually tipping the ball on defense for the Panthers was Shane Smith.
Boy, you couldn't ask for a better play from Shane. There's pressure on the quarterback. They threw the ball in the flat. He deflected, and it bounced up, and Rose just happened to be in the right place.
Shane, a 5'11", 165-pound junior, got his hands on the ball, but Lamar Rose did a good job. He was patient, kept with the ball, and then kept his feet in bounds. So it'll be first and 10 Malvern. The ball outside the Panther 21-yard line. Ball far side of the field, closest to the Malvern sideline. One receiver near side of the field. They broke the bone, go to the wing. Quarterback rolls. The pitch almost on the ground. Corralled by Murdoch. He gets inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. Kirk Shellnut got a piece. So did Shane Smith. And also over there for Benton, Roger Barker.
The quarterback there, Brandon Jones, he seemed to have learned a few things. He held his pitch at the very last moment there, and then when he did, it made the defense commit to him, and Murdoch had a little running room.
Ball came awfully close to ended up on the ground. It's second down, call it 6 yards to go for Malvern. Pressure on the Benton defense, but they hold the 12-0 lead. Quick count. Give goes right side, watch out, quarterback's free inside the 10 for a first down. Bobby Van Cleve, a good hit at the 10-yard line. Oh, Mr. Brandon Jones had a full head of steam, and he looked to be bound for the end zone. Van Cleve with a good stick at the 10, and it's 1st and goal to go for Malvern.
Van Cleve has showed last year as a defensive end he had a knack for making the big play. A lot of key interceptions there when it looked like Brandon Jones was headed for the end zone. He came in and wham, put a good lick on him and stopped him. They got 1st and goal at the 9, and if you're going to have a team have a 1st and goal, this is where you want them to have it, at the 9.
Quick timeout, and we'll take a 30-second break with the score. Benton 12, Malvern nothing. Malvern 1st and goal to go inside the Benton 10. Quarterback turns, and Jones is stuck as he gets to maybe the 8-yard line. Scott Long, Kelsey Dedman combined for the tackle, so call it 2nd and goal to go for Malvern. They squeeze down to the 6-yard line. So 2nd down, goal to go for Malvern. The clock inside 5 minutes to go. First half, Benton on the upside of a 12-0 ball game. Brandon Jones, quick look to the backfield. Now under center, turns. He's going to option it right side, cuts inside. He is nailed at the 4-yard line by Robert McNeely, coming up from the secondary for a big hit. Oh, and Robert packed a wallop there.
A good lick by Mr. McNeely. Jones once again looked like he was going to get in the end zone, scrambling. He's got good feet. Coach Albee told us both of the young quarterbacks were good runners. 2 good tackles on this drive. Kirk Shelnut one-on-one, or Bobby Van Cleve one-on-one, and now Robert McNeely. As a result, it's 3rd down, goal to go. Call the ball on the 3-yard line. One receiver near side of the field. Marty Cornwell steering right at him. Quarterback turns, goes up the middle. No way. The keeper from Jones, and the Panther defense said, forget it, Brandon Jones. It isn't going to be that easy. It'll be 4th down. Call it 2 yards to go. Inside of the defensive line. Did a good job. Scott Long at the right tackle made an excellent play. He slanted down hard inside, got the quarterback, got his feet and got a hold of him, and Mr. Jones was going nowhere. Big play here. 4th and goal to go. Malvern trailing 12-0 at the Benton 2-yard line. Brandon Jones gives side, forget it. It's stuffed back at the 6-yard line. Good job defensively. Let's hear it for Craig Lincoln, Kyle Snyder, Kelsey Dedman. Boy, heck of a job by that defensive unit. They, little bending was done, but no breaking. The defense got penetration there, and it caused confusion for Jones, and he and the running back there, they kind of tussled over the ball for a while. Yeah, that battle won by the Panthers. Big defensive series. Sprinting off the field to get a little breather. Shelnut and McNeely. The BB offense is in to get a little breathing room. Randy Russell caught that touchdown pass, lines up at tight end. The give, and coming flying through out close to the 10-yard line is Craig Lincoln. Oh, Craig must think this is heaven with those 2 gorillas in the backfield with him. You know, we talk about Benton having good size with an offensive line that weighs almost 230 pounds. Then you got you another 235-pound halfback and a 260-pound fullback. There's a lot of beef on the field. I'm surprised the field's not tilting on that end. Out of the ball game comes Lincoln. In goes Shelnut. The BB, big and beautiful offense, is still in there. The clock down to 2:30. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. Shelnut gets the call. He's met and thrown down at about the 11.5-yard line. William Burks, big hit on Shelnut. He made Kirk pay for those 2 or 3 yards. Last year, Malvern had a pretty good linebacker wearing number 99, and they gave it to another guy this year, and he filled the play that time. Another big play with the way the Malvern offense was moving. Call it 3rd and about a yard for the Benton offense, just outside their own 10-yard line. Jumper turns, gives, no room up the middle. It is going to be close to a 1st down, but I believe Malvern won that battle. William Burks was there again, knifing through and making a big hit on Craig Lincoln, giving him maybe half a yard gain, but not more.
Oh, let's give some credit to David Alpe's Malvern Leopards. They did a heck of a job on that defensive series, and as a result, there's still plenty of time. Inside 2 minutes to play in the first half. The clock at 1:41, and Scott Long backing up with the goalpost right behind him. His own at the, probably he's going to get a toe into it, maybe at the 5-yard line. Scott waiting for the snap. It's back in good shape. Takes his time. Line drive. Fair catch immediately called. And you have to wonder about that call at the 42 of Benton.
Although Malvern didn't take a chance on a return there with the kick, they knew they were going to have pretty good field position. So here they are at the Benton 43, and they've got a little more than a minute. There's plenty of time for them. If they can get one score, get the extra point, they're back in this game big.
So the pressure back on the Benton defense. They come back onto the field. Marvelous stand at the goal line on the last possession. Into the ball game at one defensive tackle now is Heath Nix, the sophomore, the right defensive tackle. Quarterback wants to throw the ball. The lefty fires. He's got a man in the flat, complete at the 32-yard line. Brent Henley, first down at the 31-yard line, and that was the lefty throwing the football, Johnny Gibbs, as they continue to rotate the quarterbacks.
Coach Alpe told us he's going to play both of them, so I guess the plan is Gibbs runs one series, and then Jones runs a series.
Premature call of a first down. They want to measure now. They have to bring the chains all the way across.
I tell you, Steve, having a left-handed quarterback and a right-handed quarterback, both of them look like they could be twin brothers, at least on different appearance from a distance. And
they both weigh 145 pounds. You have to look for the number and then just which hand is throwing.
That definitely, but they can go to probably either side of the field with equal effectiveness, and it makes it tough on the defense.
No first down. It'll be second down, and oh man, it's got to be close to about maybe a little over an inch.
In football, there's no increment smaller than a yard as far as statistics are concerned, but you'd have to say this is probably not more than 3 or 4 inches.
Well, Malvern doesn't have the big and beautiful offense, and they don't have a lot of time. 1:07 to play in the first half, so if you're David Alpe, this may be a good time to throw the football. Second down, less than a foot, the PA announcer calls it. As accurate as you're probably going to get. The clock put into motion. Rolling is Gibbs. He looks, the pressure's on. Deadman hits him. The pass is complete at the 10. Finally wrestled down at the 9-yard line. Fine pass by Gibbs. He was nailed in the backfield by Kelsey Deadman. And Monty Cornwell makes the saving tackle at the 9, and that pass was just beautiful.
That pass was on the money. First of all, Gibbs had to throw it over a 6'4" Deadman, and then Shane Smith was right in front of him and got over his outstretched fingertips. Malvern's in business again.
That was one of those remember me later hits. Kelsey Deadman put a lick on Gibbs. Gibbs is going to throw again. Rolls near side of the field. Plenty of time. Stops. Here comes the pressure, and there goes Gibbs. Oh, Scott Long. Getting up off the bottom there is Roger Barker. Kelsey Deadman. But give Greg Mundy, the 6', 205-pound sophomore, the credit there. He flushed the quarterback out, and it'll be second down and 13 yards to go. And Mundy did a good job from his nose guard spot applying the pressure. He doesn't get credit for the sack, but he was the man who caused it.
Another sophomore, right end, Roger Barker, did a good job containing and keeping Gibbs from getting too far outside and forced him back in. And then when he forced back in, there came Mundy, Deadman, and Long, and boom.
Quickly, let's go down to the field and check in with Bob Edmondson.
Well, I don't know if y'all passed it along or not, but at halftime, it's AAA Sheridan 21 and 4A Bryan Hornets nothing, 21-0 in favor of Sheridan right now at halftime.
Oh, that's not good news, but maybe John Brainerd can get the bunch going at the half. A bit of...
Excuse me there. I talked to Coach Campbell, and he felt rather enthusiastic that he had a good team. That score surprises me a little bit, though.
21-0. This one, it's 12-0. The good guys. Benton on top, but the clock, a big factor. We're inside 35 seconds to play, 31 to be exact in the first half. Malvern now a second down. I guess they can get a first down at about the inch line, so it's second down at about the 13. Defensive backfield, Shane Smith, Robert McNeely, Monty Cornwell, all waiting. This could be their play right here. Quarterback Gibbs turns. He's got time. He's got a man in the end zone. Touchdown. The lefty with the good toss, and the good catch is made by Scotty Danley. Good job by the lefty quarterback, Danley, and he does it with just 21 seconds to play in the first half.
Boy, last series, these quarterbacks, boy, even as you can get one, drive them down the field and doesn't get it in, the other one drives down and score. But the little lefty there, the Gibbs made 3 good fakes and froze the Benton defensive backs, and the receiver was wide open, touchdown.
Gibbs, one of these quarterbacks, defensive lineman dread. He can run all over the field and throw the ball. Point after, line drive is through the middle, and that could be big. It's 12-7. We've got a football game, and we've only got 21 seconds to play in the first half. Let's take a 30-second break, come back to C.W. Lewis Field. Here's kick return team onto the field. A little earlier than Dwight Fite would have liked. 21 seconds to play in the first half. Malvern with an impressive drive. It's now a 12-7 Benton lead. Robert McNeely. Let's hope he's got some lightning waiting for us. He stands at the Benton 10-yard line. And Malvern, the kicker's no Rolf Panershka. He probably gets in about 6'5". That's nose guard Eddie Ray Hines. Eddie's got a long leg to get into that football.
Malvern, Eddie Ray plays nose guard, and they have a linebacker who is 6'6", and you got to think those guys, they're in the wrong sport, aren't they? Aren't they the tall ones supposed to be playing basketball?
Eddie's still growing. Eddie Ray is 6'6", 195 pounds, and his right foot is into the football. Elects to go deep. Ranging over to the 9, dropping the football as McNeely picks it up, works to the 15-yard line, and he is smothered. Call that momentum as 11 Leopards, the whole kickoff team, greets Robert McNeely. In that split second, when you drop the football, you're just inviting trouble.
Robert didn't help himself out any when he dropped that ball there, and by that time, Malvern was all over him. Their team, they've got a big score right here before the half, and momentum is on their side. Benton, it'll be interesting to see if Fite tries to put some points on the board, or if he just has to run the clock out.
Well, 15 seconds left. Now the clock's going to run down. It looks like they're going to let the first half run down and go to the locker room with a 12-7 lead. And it's halftime, and that's your score. Just about set to go at second half action. Quickly down to the field amongst the 1987 Benton Panthers, our own Bob Edmondson.
Well, trying to get untangled, okay.
He doesn't have the moves of a Scott Long.
Boy, I know.
Almost as big.
Almost as big. These 13s just won't move like his will, though. Well, the Panthers back out on the field along with the Malvern Leopards, 12-7. The Panthers up by a few points, and hopefully by the end of the ball game up by even more. And right now, Coach Dwight Fite walking out and talking to his specialty team, and we're ready to play ball here in the second half.
The offense getting ready. Tony Guerra, helmet off, ready to put his helmet back on. Tony has the Oliver North haircut. He'll appreciate that if he watches the game on the cable cast. 12-7. Benton on top at halftime, and they'll get the football to start this second half. And out comes Eddie Ray Hines, who kicks and probably plays forward on the basketball team. I said a while back that Lamar Rose had thunder thighs. He's got a couple of sticks for legs on Eddie Ray Hines, as now he feels the kicking tee as it comes flying in from the sidelines. The end of the game now, Saline Electrical Supply MVP will be picked by myself and Jeff Reed for this game. And boy, right now, if you had to pick a Panther, it's kind of up in the air. Scott Long has played well. Tommy Jumper's had a heck of a game. Randy Russell has a big catch. So right now, it's hanging in the balance.
This game is hanging in the balance. Benton deferred the choice on the on the opening toss to the second half, so they're going to get the ball, and I'm sure Coach Fight would love nothing more than to get this second half started with a touchdown drive and get a two-score difference in this one.
Robert McNeely, 5'9", 185 pounds of thunder, waiting back at the 10-yard line. He'll be hoping to move left to right and coast to coast. Wouldn't that be a great start to the second half? Eddie Ray Hines gets word from the official. They say, Eddie Ray, go to it. And the second half is underway. High kick. McNeely ranges over. It's going to be taken by the short man. 15-yard line across the 20. Head down and stuck at the 24-yard line. Looked like Shane Smith cutting across the 20 to the 24-yard line. It was Shane. And we mentioned as Benton takes over on the 24, Jeff Reed, that there's more than one Benton Panther with the Razorback connections.
Yeah, a lot of folks might remember Shane's father, Ronnie Mack Smith. He had a little glory when he played up in the hills.
Let's see if the Fighting Panthers can move out on offense. Jeff Rivers, left tackle. Quick word with Tommy Jumper as they break the huddle. Receivers left and right as they split Scott Long wide to the left side. Jason McGee wide to the right side. Running backs in a wishbone. Jumper wants to throw the ball. He's got all night. He's got a receiver wide open and off the hands and incomplete of Craig Lincoln. In Craig's defense, the ball was thrown behind him. He was all by himself. The idea was for Long and McGee to get the defenders out there and just send Lincoln into the flat. The thinking was right, the executing just a little off.
Benton showed a different look there, splitting Long out to wide to the left and McGee wide to this side, and they just drug the halfback out in the flat behind Long, clearing out, and he was wide open. Just didn't execute.
Same deal. Long wide to the left. Cornwell wide to the right. Second down, 10 yards to go Benton. First series, second half. Jumper fires for Long. Incomplete. It's overthrown at the 35-yard line. Tommy let it fly just a little high. Was looking for Scott at the, call it, 40-yard line. If the ball was there, Scott would have had it. 11:21 to play in the third quarter. Benton leading 12 for 7. They open the second half with two passes, two incomplete passes. Near side of the field comes Jason McGee. This time Long only splits himself about 3 yards on the tight end of the left side. Wishbone set behind Tommy Jumper. 3rd and 10. Jumper turns. Good play fake. Rolls left side. He's got time. Puts it under his shoulder. Runs the ball. And he's going to be hit and dropped shy of the first down. As he cut across the 25 to the 29-yard line, Tommy built up a good head of steam, but got stuck pretty good right in front of the Malvern sideline.
As fast as Tommy was running, Malvern was coming as fast the opposite direction as a good hit, but a little too late for the Panthers. They have to punt.
Mike Harbour goes back deep at Malvern. He's lining up at about the Malvern 35-yard line. Scott Long back at the Benton 15-yard line, ready to get the snap. First offensive series of the second half will end in a punt. Long gets the time, short, high punt, fair catch called for. Ball's on the ground, there's a scramble, and Malvern's on top of it at the 43-yard line. Oh, that could have been an awfully big play. Back deep, Scotty Ollison for Malvern, their free safety. Scotty, a 5'6", 160-pound junior, had a little trouble holding on to the football, and there were some anxious moments as that ball just lay there on the field.
He was there about half a count quicker than Randy Russell, who tried his darndest to get the ball away from him.
So let's see what the Leopard offense, so impressive in the latter stages of the first half, can do on this, their first series of the second half. They start in good field position, their own 43-yard line. And getting the call at quarterback, they play the dual quarterback system, is Brandon Jones, who started the ball game. Options right side, turns it up. He's hit and dropped after a gain of about a yard. Kelsey Dedman ranges over from his tackle spot along with Randy Russell. It'll be second down. Call it 9 yards to go. Bobby Van Cleve also got an arm in there, so it'll be second down. Call it 8.5 yards to go for Malvern. It almost looked like the quarterback Jones misconnected with his fullback.
I think the fullback give may have been the play there when they missed it. Boom.
Michael Chance comes near side of the field, draws single coverage from Monty Cornwell. Shane Smith ranges up to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down, 8 yards to go. Quarterback turns and gives opening right side. Watch out, into Benton territory, inside the 35-yard line. Finally dropped is Lamar Rose. like a shot on the right side, gets down to the Benton 34-yard line. You hear, watch out, start worrying.
The Malvern showed, like Benton started out showing something different to start the second half. Malvern showed something there it hasn't used yet. A little counter action with the quick rows, and like we said earlier, it doesn't take a lot of room for him to get gone.
The officials checking some equipment now, it looks like, with Kelsey Dedman. And it's going to be a quick officials timeout. 1st and 10 nonetheless for Malvern at the Benton 34-yard line. We see the quickness of a Lamar Rose. He's a guy you can't let loose in the secondary.
That's the kind of speed that kills you.
Quarterback Brandon Jones, a 145 junior, ready to get things going again. Pitch near side and watch out again. Little running room closed quickly by Cornwell and Shane Smith along with Bobby Van Cleve, and they hold it to a gain of 3 yards. No, call it 7 yards. They mark the ball down at the 25-yard line. We call it 2nd down, 3 yards to go. And once again, a good job by the Malvern offense of getting some running room out there.
This offense that showed little life early, the last 3 possessions, this being the 3rd one in a row, it has come to life all of a sudden. It's chewing up big chunks of yardage.
The ball on the Benton 26-yard line. 2nd down, 3 yards to go. Quarterback Jones turns, breaks a tackle, and gets 2 or 3 yards. Bill Lincoln had Jones racked up in the backfield and couldn't finish him off. As a result, instead of a loss, it'll be 3rd down or maybe 1st down. Yeah, it's that close. Referee Ernie Deaton signals for the change. He signals for the change to come across. Bill Lincoln quickly off the field. Talk with defensive coordinator.
They're having to think, well, Coach, what worked early that didn't work, that's not working now?
And it's going to be a 1st down for Malvern. Dwight Fite poised in a crouch position, about 5 to 6 yards in front of his Benton Panthers on the sidelines as he looks back from midfield. He's got to be concerned at this point with Malvern mounting a challenge early in the second half. Their first series, the clock inside 8:30 to play in the 3rd quarter, a 12-7 Benton lead. Brian Hanley comes wide near side of the field. Wishbone set. It's McNeely, Murdoch, and Rose behind Brandon Jones. Junior quarterback's done a fine job. He turns, option right side. Jones is going to keep. He's hit and dropped. Bobby Van Cleve drops Jones at the 19-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 and call it 2nd down and 6 yards to go. Good job by Bobby Van Cleve rushing over for his linebacker spot. And give the Leopards probably a gain of almost 5 on that play. Call it 2nd, maybe 5.5 yards to go as the ball is marked on the Malvern, on the Benton 18-yard line. 5 yards, good yardage on 1st down.
Benton defense is staying out there a while and probably getting a little ragged.
2nd down, 5 yards to go. The ball on the far hash mark, closest to the Malvern sideline. Jones turns, there's a mix-up, he's nailed in the backfield. Kelsey Dedman actually went by Brandon Jones, grabbed Jones' shoulder pads, and brought him down.
Must be nice to be 6'4", 270 pounds and strong as an ox like Kelsey. He missed Jones and then reached out and grabbed his jersey, and the little man wasn't going anywhere.
Call it a loss of 1.5 yards. Call it 3rd and 7 yards to go. Coach Fulcher, like a third base coach in baseball. The signals have been relayed. It's 3rd down, 7 yards to go for Malvern. Big series. They trail Benton 12-7. Early moments, 3rd quarter. Jones turns, coming back the other way, and a counter, and watch out. Inside the Benton 15, down to the 11, and close to another 1st down. Lamar Rose coming back the other way and almost an inside reverse for a 1st down.
It's similar to the counter play that he broke for 22 yards a while ago. 1st and 10. This is getting serious.
David Alpe mixing it up, so it'll be 1st down and 10 yards to go just outside the Benton 10-yard line. Benton, you can't blame them if they were thinking past the way Malvern threw the ball in the 1st half. But David Alpe went into the playbook and found something that worked earlier. So it's 1st down, 10 yards to go. Malvern looking to pull into the lead. Give left side and forget it. Nailed in the backfield is Rose. There by a couple of Panthers. Scott Long is there, along with Roger Barker. We've called Barker's name more than once tonight. It'll be 2nd down, 11 yards to go. And Roger, a good-looking sophomore, 180 pounds.
He was the ninth graders won the conference championship last year, and he was a key part of that team. The coaches are real high on him.
Clock inside 6 minutes to play in the third quarter. Jones rolls left side, looking, fires. It's going to be almost intercepted and incomplete. Monty Cornwell takes his fist and beats it into the ground. He says just a few feet further and I would have had that football. Actually a poor throw, but in that case it turned out good for Malvern, because if that ball was on target, Monty Cornwell had it going back the other way for Benton. Good coverage by Monty, so it's third down, 10 yards to go.
Cornwell had the coverage there. He might not be the quickest cornerback, but he's 6'4" and he's got good range. He can cover a lot of ground. He had that one covered.
So it'll be third down, call it 10 yards to go. Receiver goes wide right, that's Michael Chance. Wing to the right side, that's Lamar Rose. Jones rolls right side, cuts up, he's hit and dropped. Oh, fine defensive play as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Kelsey Dedman. No.
That was
Greg Mundy, the sophomore nose guard. I saw the 6. Oh, fine defensive play by Mundy, ranging over for his nose guard position with a heck of a hit.
Mundy has extreme quickness. He's another one of those sophomores who were a big part. Benton wants timeout. He was a big part of that sophomore team that, that team that won the championship as ninth graders, and the coaches are extremely high on Mr. Greg Mundy.
Big fourth down coming up. We'll take a 30-second break with the score: Benton 12, Malvern 7.
Situation like this, one thing to remember is Malvern can make a first down without scoring here.
Yeah, the first down stick just outside the goal line, probably the half-yard line. Wing to the right side, 4th and 10. Jones turns, looks, turns it upfield. He's hit far shy of the first down. The defense holds. Scott Long is there as we look for them to unpile. Mundy, Roger Barker with a good defensive play. It looks like Roger Barker is going to stay in and play a little offense at this point. Roger with a good series on defense.
Roger has looked real well on the defensive side. He's going to go in and run a little halfback now. Let's hope he's not too tired. Good job by the sophomore.
This is a big series. The defense did its job. Now the offense. If they don't put points on the board, they could use a drive to get out of this hole. First down, 10 yards to go. The ball inside the Benton 10. Jumper turns, runs the option to the near side of the field, turns upfield and slips and falls as he gains 3 or 4 yards. Give credit to one Malvern Leopard who managed to grab Maurice Bradford, grabbed Tommy by the shoulder pads. Tommy spun off and kind of staggered for a couple of yards, called a gain of 3. Call it second down, 7 yards to go for Benton as they spot the ball at the 11-yard line.
One thing good about that, it's 3 yards further upfield, and it gets them kind of out of the shadow of that goal post.
Second down, 7 yards to go. The backfield, McNeely, Lincoln, and Barker. The sophomore gets a shot. Scott Long splits near side of the field. Cornwell far side of the field. Option near side of the field. Long, a good block. Jumper cuts up inside, close to a first down at the 18.
Benton's not taking any chances here. They're running the option, and the backs are there as decoys, because Tommy is not taking any chance at pitching the ball, and he is as good as there is at running and then cutting back across the grain. Big number 99 from Malvern, William Burks, just ran right past Tommy there.
Officials want to take a look here, and they're going to bring the chains across. Good job by Scott Long, lining up wide. Did a good job one-on-one getting out on his cornerback and taking him out of the play. So it'll be third down or first down. Let's see. It's awful close as they bring the chains across the field. Benton at this point could really use a first down.
First down is needed very badly. You were talking about Scott blocking. You talk about Scott Long and all the things he does on defense and the things he does catching the ball. He's also one of the finest blockers on the team.
So it'll be third down as they bring the chains back and call it less than a yard to go for Benton. Scott Long quickly out of the huddle, now summoned back. Maybe a change in plans that he doesn't know about. Outside, just if I can reach around, we got a light pole right in the way of the scoreboard. 4:03 to be exact. Left to play in the third quarter. Benton nursing a 12-7 lead. Long goes wide to the far side. Cornwell comes wide to the near side.
The quarterback sneak might be something to look for here, and then the big tackle moved over on the center now, so that may change.
Jumper under center. Dwight Everett turns, runs the option near side of the field. He's got the first down. He slips and falls, but that's before he gets to the 23-yard line.
That was a play. That one was just a little slip away from being a big play. Malvern was bunched in tight looking for the Panthers to run in the middle. They made the little fake to the fullback, and Tommy and the halfbacks were headed outside. He saw the opening, cut up, and slipped just a little, but he got room enough for the first down.
Inside 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Benton leading 12-7 with the football. Big first down at its own 23-yard line. Once again, receivers are split on both sides. Long goes far side. Jason McGee, who came with the play, comes near side. Tommy Jumper looks left, looks right, gets the snap, turns and gives, and there's running room. McNeely. It's Lincoln. Craig Lincoln this time. Cuts for 7 yards. It'll be second down and 3 yards.
Tommy's faking you out back there, isn't he, Steve?
Got to get these numbers down. Between 24s and 42s. It'll be second down. 2 yards to go. The important thing is he got the yardage.
A couple of good play fakes by Tommy there. First to Robert and then to Lincoln coming back this way on a little counter action. Lincoln's limping just a little bit.
That could hurt. Craig Lincoln does a good job on both sides of the ball. Once again, receivers split wide on both sides. Second down, 1.5 yards to go. Jumper turns and gives to Barker, who's got the first down. Spinning across the 35 to the 37-yard line. Quarterback in the wishbone attack is going to get hit. And Tommy Jumper was stuck right after he released the ball to Barker.
But the thing about Tommy Jumper, he's been stuck. He was stuck all last year. People, they look at the little guy, and he looks frail, but he's tough as nails. Coach Fike wouldn't trade him for anyone.
So it's 1st and 10 for Benton. The ball on the Panther 36-yard line. They lead 12-7. Time running down third quarter. Tommy Jumper, option near side. Pitches back. The ball's on the ground. It's either Craig Lincoln or a Malvern Leopard. And it looks like Malvern has the football. Let's wait till they unstack. And a great job by Lincoln. Oh, heck of a job by Craig Lincoln. Not fumbling the ball, but recovering it.
There was great execution on that play because when Lincoln got the pitch, there was too much territory in front of him. And I think he saw it and didn't quite take care of the ball like he should. He did a good job recovering, though, because Malvern was there in a hurry. Big William Burks, number 99. I thought he had it.
Looked like William had the edge. But Craig fighting to hold on to that lead at 12-7. He's a senior. He knows what this is all about. And he sure doesn't want to lose the football at this time in the game. Inside 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Benton leading 12-7. Big 2nd and 11. Panthers working their own territory. Here comes the blitz. The give to Lincoln. He breaks the tackle at the line of scrimmage. He's into the secondary and close to a first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 yard. What an effort by Craig Lincoln. He was hit at the line of scrimmage, said no, and bounced forward. And now Lincoln is on the ground. Shaken up on the play. Ball is close to midfield at the 47-yard line, about 1 yard away from a first down, and Craig Lincoln is being attended to on the field.
Steve, we had two forces going about the same speed in opposite directions. Malvern's number 79, Mark Bradford, a big tackle, knifed through, and he just really laid a lick on Tommy Jumper. Fortunately, he wasn't going for Craig Lincoln, who was going the other way. Lincoln hit it to the line, broke loose, and made a good run. Of course, now it looks like they're working on his ankle or his knee.
Donald Fulcher, just maybe a cramp at this point.
Just like a cramp, what they're doing to him.
And out come the chains. They're measuring. If anybody's got to look, it's Craig. It's going to be a first down. Thanks to Craig Lincoln. It looks like they're just working out the cramp right now, and he is, boy, that was just a heck of a run. Once again, Malvern was shooting people from all directions. Jumper was popped, and Lincoln immediately after he got the football met resistance and somehow managed to keep the feet driving and drove forward. As a result, Benton with a first down out near midfield, call it the 47-yard line.
Craig may have had a little extra motivation on that play. He saw all that open territory in front of him the play before, and he messed up. So he said, "Hey guys, let me have another shot at it." And he did a super job then.
That's getting it the hard way. He'd prefer taking it on the open territory and getting 10 or 12 yards that way. Benton leading 12-7. And when the trainers work their way off the field, we'll check in with Bob Edmondson down there. And maybe Robert has some news for us now. Bob?
I believe you're absolutely correct. It was just a couple of leg cramps. The trainers have worked on Craig Lincoln. He's now walking off the field. Dr. Stewart, who attends all these games, a local physician that's always here at C.W. Lewis Stadium, he was waved off the field, so I knew from that time on that it was nothing serious, but this simply first case of leg cramps.
Okay, we're in business at 1st and 10 on the 47. Long comes near side. Receiver far side looks like Jason McGee. Jumper turns and gives. In the middle, running hard. It's going to be a first down and more. Inside the Malvern 40 at the 39, Robert McNeely. 5'9", 185 pounds. I was in awe for a second as I watched Robert shed those white jerseys. He met about 5 or 6 on the way to a 12-yard gain.
Robert's very compact at 5'9", 185, and he's a very stout and very strong young man. And he's also the fastest guy on the team. He couldn't quite get that speed going there, but he did show good power breaking those tackles. Excellent run. 2 in a row there for Benton.
Yeah, I gave Robert credit a little earlier. I wanted to make sure that was Robert running over those Malvern Leopards on that play. 1st and 10. Jumpers back out. Quarterback sneak right up the middle. He gets 3 or 4 yards to the 35. And Tommy won't go down. He spins out of the pack. He was already whistled down. It'll be 2nd down and call it maybe 5.5 yards to go. Jumper probably got to the line of scrimmage, saw something, and worked right behind Dwight Everett. And he got close to 5 yards. You'll take that any time on 1st down on a quarterback sneak as the clock runs inside 30 seconds to play in the 3rd quarter. Panthers really eating up the clock.
This is just what the coaches have got to want, a drive like this, if they can just keep it going and put it in the end zone and eat up that time.
Now they spotted at the 36, and once again, receivers are split left and right wide. McGee to the left, Long to the right. Jumper, wishbone set, another quarterback sneak, 3 more yards. It'll be 3rd down and 3 yards to go, and that's the end of the 3rd quarter. Let's take a 60-second break with the score, Benton 12, Malvern 7. Third and 3 as we start the 4th quarter. Benton on the Malvern 33-yard line. Tommy Jumper under center. Wishbone set. Long. Wide to the left side. Cornwell to the right. Jumper. Option left side. He's going to keep it. Puts his head down, and he looks like he's got a 1st down. Oh, Tommy Jumper, just a tough senior. He could give the ball up, but when he sees he's got a chance to get that 1st down, get to the sticks, he'll go for it and take the punishment. And it will be a 1st down. The chains aren't coming across this time. So it'll be 1st down and 10. The ball in the near hash mark, closest to the Benton sideline. And it's tough to describe on radio, but the tradition Benton has after the end of the quarter.
At the end of each quarter, the team runs what the closest yard line they're on. They run down there and they run to the sideline and run down and receive congratulations and encouragement from their team. It's something Coach Fight has put in, and it gives the team a little extra uplift and shows a little class.
So the Fighting Panthers threatening again. 1st and 10 on the Malvern 28-yard line. Jumper turns inside. He's got running room. Hurdles one blocker and goes inside the 20-yard line to the 19 or 18. Now let's give the offensive line credit. Rivers, Frog, Everett, Winfield, and Guerra. And the no-huddle offense in effect at this point. It'll be 2nd down in less than a yard, and the Panthers are ready to go again. Jumper quickly under center. The senior looks left, looks right, now turns, options the other way, pitches at the last second to Barker, and he's hit close to the sticks. I believe he was hit just shy of the sticks. Let's give Tommy Jumper credit. He eats the football. He takes a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Steve, I'm going to go out on a limb and say I think they got it.
And they are going to give them the 1st down. Give it to Roger Barker. Good job by Roger Barker.
No huddle again. Oh, no, they go back into the huddle now.
Dwight Fite takes a page out of the Larry Lacewell book over in Jonesboro. They make a habit out of the no-huddle offense because it works for those Indians. They've got a good quarterback in Dwayne Brown. We've got a good one in Tommy Jumper. It should work here. Cornwell comes near side, wide out. Wide out to the far side. Our trusty tight end, Scott Long. Give goes up the middle and smashing. Snatching for about 6 or 7 yards. It's Craig Lincoln back into the ball game. Boy, a heck of a run. The cramps are gone. Call it second down and the better part of 8 yards on that carry. Call it 2nd and 2 as the ball moves down close to the Malvern 10-yard line. I call it inside the 10 at the 9.
Craig, that looked kind of like his other run a while ago, spinning and slashing like that. He's come back with the fury after missing that pitch.
Second down, call it inside, 2 yards to go. Jason McGee near side, split end, Long far side. Jumper turns, options left side. He's hit and smothered by 3 Malvern Leopards. Hit pretty close to the line of scrimmage. Should be shy of the first down. Let's see where they spot the football. And it is going to be 3rd down, call it a yard. Out of the ball game, Dennis Bird doing a good job in 1 tackle. He comes out, talks it over one of the offensive line coaches, and into the ball game. For Benton, big Jeff Rivers back in, the senior. So it'll be 3rd down, inside a yard to go for the Panthers. Jumper turns, gives to Lincoln. He's hit hard, but he may have the first down. All depends on where the officials decide to spot the football. Lincoln did make some forward progress, so if he didn't get the first down, he had to be awfully close.
Robert McNeely was holding up one finger. I don't know if that's 1 yard to go or if it's first down.
Here come the chains. We're inside 10 minutes to play in the ball game. A score here would almost, nothing's out of reach with Malvern's explosiveness, but really put the heat on Malvern. I guess he was signaling first down.
Had to be.
So it'll be 1st and goal to go for Benton as they spot the ball on the Malvern 7-yard line. Monty Cornwell now talking things over with Dwight Fite on the sideline. He'll be in on the next play. Jason McGee in on this play. He's the lone split end to the right side. This time Long goes tight end left side. Jumper in under Dwight Everett at center. Tommy turns, gives up the middle, and running hard. McNeely for a good 3 or 4 yards inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. So call it 2nd down and 1 as they get to the 1-yard line. Great job there by McNeely.
Robert got those short legs churning and wouldn't stop. He's looked good on his last couple of runs here in the 4th quarter.
Take your pick this time. Odds are, I'd say it's either going to be Lincoln or McNeely with the work they've done on this drive. 2nd down, goal to go, and the offensive line is moving them back. Cornwell and Long split to either side. Turn and the give and in the end zone. Robert McNeely. Dwight signals, let's go for 2 points. And with the job Robert McNeely did on that drive, kind of the reward system, you carried it down close, take it in for us.
Hey, Robert and Craig Lincoln, both seniors. Hey, they want to win this game, and they did a great job running there. We got a little timeout, Steve.
The Panthers are going to go for 2 points, and let's take a break with the score 18-7. Benton, a 30-second break with just over 8 minutes to play in the game. I understand they were pretty good kickers.
I think he had a father and an uncle who may have been pretty fair in their day booting the ball. Both attended the University of Arkansas.
Now the late decision, we have to wait on Nix.
Can't get his shoe done.
Get into kicking form.
There's a delay coming.
They're going to take the delay of game. And Dwight will probably say, you can give me those 5 yards. He decided late, and you saw the change in personnel. And just give Nix more room.
Hey, a situation like that, 5 yards is not a whole lot of difference kicking this close. And you're better off to take your time, let them call the penalty, and get set up and get things squared off, and don't rush yourself and maybe get off a bad kick.
Well, that was a drive any coach would be proud of. 91 yards, 18 plays in 6 minutes, 45 seconds. That's how you win football games. Hey, it's high enough, long enough, and to the left. Premature work from the, looks like the pep squad or cheerleaders below us. They saw that ball shoot into the air and immediately thought it was good.
Well, I was with them, Steve. I thought it was going through. The kick looked good, just a little to the left.
With 8 minutes, 1 second to play in the fourth quarter, Benton leading 18-7, and we'll take a 30-second break. Back at C.W. Lewis Stadium, and the Benton faithful probably breathing a little easier. It's now an 11-point ball game with 8 minutes, and if I can work my way around the pole, 4 seconds to go in the ball game. Randy Russell puts a foot into it. Mike Harbor takes it at the 10. Works his way across the 20, makes a move across the 25. Watch out as he gets out close to the 40-yard line. They'll spot it at the 36-yard line. Nice little running. Nice little bit of running down there by Mr. Mike Harbor. Nice tackle made by Randy Wright. One of the Wright twins comes up with a big tackle. And Malvern Leopard on the field right now. And
that's Mr. Harbor. He got hit pretty good.
Heck of a run. We'll check in now down to the sidelines with Bob Edmondson and seeing if the 87 Panthers are breathing a little easier at this point.
They are breathing a little easier, but they haven't calmed down any. Very, very excited team in the Benton Panthers right now. I want to tell you a story about Tony Guerra a little bit later when we have some time.
Okay, we'll be back with you in a second, Bob. So it's 1st and 10 for Malvern. Very big offensive series for the Leopards. They trail this ball game 18-7, and the clock is not an ally of the Leopards. Inside 8 minutes to go in the ball game. They have it on their own 36. Quarterback Gibbs wants to throw. He fires under pressure. It's going to be incomplete. And Scott Long administered quite a hit to Johnny Gibbs. The junior lefty took some time picking himself up off the ground after Long got through with him.
I'm a member of the group that believes the best pass defense is an outstanding pass rush. Mr. Gibbs was greeted by Scott Long there, and his pass was rushed. It was nowhere close to being caught. It's a great play by Long.
That's a mismatch. Gibbs 145, Long 235. 5'9" to 6'4". It's 2nd down and 10 yards to go. Look like the Leopards got a fast start. There go the flags. There goes Lamar Rose behind the line of scrimmage. Once again, it's Mundy from his nose guard position shooting over for the fine play, and he's working himself right into the MVP voting.
I tell you, Greg Mundy has played a good game as a sophomore. I think he got a lot of good coaching in junior high from Charlie Reynolds.
It'll be, let's see, a tough decision time here for Benton. They made the good defensive play, and they just may let it stand. It will be declined. It'll be 3rd down and 10 yards to go for Malvern. And quarterback Johnny Gibbs has got to be saying in the huddle, keep 80 out of my face. It's 3rd down, 10 yards to go. 2 plays ago, Scott Long laid a hit on Gibbs in the backfield. Forced an errant throw. 3rd and 10. Gibbs is back to throw. He's got time. Fires. Incomplete. And coming up from the secondary, Shane Smith to put a lick on a Malvern receiver. So it'll be now 4th down and 10 yards to go. And let's hear it for the Benton defense.
I think Marshall Murdoch heard Shane Smith's footsteps coming, and when the ball got there, he felt a pretty good lick. It was a great play by Shane.
Yep, the footsteps, and then the hit. Pretty good hit by Shane. Got a connection there. The receivers start thinking about the defensive backs, and Gibbs starts thinking about the defensive line. It's going to be tough to complete passes. Tommy Jumper back deep at the 26, and you got to be careful at this point with inside 8 minutes to go. Daggett, a good athlete, back in punt formation at the 23-yard line. 4th down, 10 yards to go. High snap. He corrals it with one hand and gets the punt off. It's high. Malvern short man. Tommy Cody lets it bounce. Still rolling at the 26-yard line. And the offense will go back onto the field with an 18-7 lead. A member of that offense is Tony Guerra, and I believe Bob Edmondson has a little information to relate to us about Guerra.
That's right. That's right. Tony Guerra, 5'11", 260-pound senior. You said he had the Ollie North haircut, referring to Lieutenant Ollie North. Well, that's a coincidence because he wants to attend West Point, and he has a very, very good chance of going to West Point next year. He's been contacted by them. They're watching him, so it could be the first Benton Panther going to West Point next year.
Well, he's got the haircut, and he's got the size. So here we go. It'll be 1st and 10 for Benton. Jumper turns, a little trouble in the handoff, but somehow McNeely, still not even with a head full of steam, it took 4, maybe 5 leopards to get him down as he worked across the 30 to the 31. Call it a gain of 5. That may have been a case of either Jumper wanting to take the ball out of McNeely's stomach and McNeely not letting him, or Jumper wanting McNeely to take the football and Robert not taking it. One or the other.
I think Robert wanted it a little more than Tommy wanted to give it to him.
They went 2 or 3 yards together. It'll be second down, 5.5 yards to go. Scott Long comes near side, Monty Corwell far side. 6:22 to go in the ball game. This time McNeely clean off the right side, breaking tackles. Call it a gain of 2. Oh, didn't do Robert justice that time. He was just 1 tackle away, breaking 1 tackle from breaking it, and now Robert's down on the ground. Could be another cramp.
I think Bob put the leg cramp jinx on us here. He talked at the halftime how there haven't been any, and now here we got our second one.
And quickly running into the ball game is Greg Holmes, a 145-pound senior. And the Panthers now 6 minutes, 11 seconds away from the first victory of the 1987 season. Holding an 18-7 lead, holding the football on a big 3rd down and 4 yards to go. A first down here, and Benton has the potential to really run out the clock.
Greg Holmes just came into the game, Steve, and Greg Holmes is one of the smallest looking, he is one of the smaller Panthers there is. But he is also one of the strongest Panthers. He's rock solid, a good competitor and a good team player. Last year he won the award, the best teammate award that Coach Fight started here 2 years ago.
Well, the Panthers doing the job tonight. 18-7 lead over a pretty good Malvern team. And now the head Panther wants to check on a very valuable member of this squad, Robert McNeely, being attended to. And now it looks like Robert's going to make his way to his feet and going to struggle off the field. Roberts had a good ball game.
Roberts had a real good second half. He's also came up with a couple of big hits on the defensive side. Offensively here in the second half, he has looked real strong running the ball.
So it'll be 3rd and call it 3.5 or 4 yards to go. They mark the ball at the Benton 34-yard line. Panthers working right to left here in the 4th quarter. The clock on the move, closing in on 6 minutes to play in the ball game. Receiver near side of the field, McGee. Far side of the field, Scott Long. Split about 3 yards from the tackle. Jumper wants to throw. He's got time. He fires for Long. He's open. He's got the football near midfield. And 3 leopards. One grabs him by the face mask, and Long is still going. It took 3 leopards, and one had Scott by the face mask.
Steve, I still don't know if they ever got him down. They eventually ran him out of bounds.
The Malvern leopard got his money's worth with the face mask. He had Scott for probably 3 yards before you saw the head jerk down a little. Tommy Jumper, a good job of getting the football over some tall people on the Malvern defense, and you had to think that was coming at one time. It was only 3rd down and 4 yards to go. But to my knowledge, they hadn't really thrown a pass in the second half, and passing when you pass as well as Benton does is not that much of a risk.
Steve, Benton started out the second half with 2 passes that were incomplete. One was dropped, and then Jumper gained 5 yards, and since then, that was 1. Then they came back with a 19-play drive, and we're going like our 24th straight play on the ground, then they pass it.
All the way down to the 37-yard line. Scott Long comes wide to the near side and draws single coverage. That poor Malvern leopard. The give goes up the middle, and running hard, that's Holmes. His first carry of the ball game. Gets down to the 30-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3 yards to go. Offensive line still doing good work. Saw Frog out in front of that play. Bill Frog, 5'10", 260-pound senior. As Jason McGee runs in with the play, it'll be 2nd down, 3 yards to go. Scott Long, a weapon you have to watch, comes near side of the field. Jason McGee goes far side of the field. Backs in the bone behind the senior quarterback Tommy Jumper. Inside 5 minutes to play. Benton trying to add to an 18-7 lead. Once again getting the call is Greg Holmes. He didn't get much. He met a Malvern leopard at the line of scrimmage, and it was a standoff. So call it 3rd and about 2 for Benton. Dwight Fight has already called the play. He's given the information to Monty Cornwell, who's now relaying it to Tommy Jumper. So it'll be 3rd down and maybe 1.5 yards, and this 4-down territory for the Panthers inside the Malvern 30-yard line at the 28. Long near side of the field. Cornwell goes far side of the field. Jumper, long count, turns and gives. It's going to be close to a first down. It looks like a Benton first down. Good job by the offensive line paving the way, and a good job behind it by, it looks like Craig Lincoln got the call that time for the first down, and Craig's had some big carries tonight.
Craig has done an incredible job here in the second half. He's running hard, he's running tough. It's taken more than one to stop him.
Some depth in that offensive line. We see Heath Nix into the ball game. Dennis Bird has played some and gives chance for a lot of people to take some rest, especially on a hot night like this. 18-7, inside 4 minutes to go. Benton in business, a first down on the Malvern 25-yard line. Jumper wants to throw, screens it out. It's tipped and caught for maybe a gain of about a half a yard, but it was a heck of a catch by Craig Lincoln.
Craig Lincoln has developed a habit of reaching up with one hand and tapping the ball, then catching it. That time he caught it, but it threw him off balance, and he only gained a yard. But it helps the percentage completion average.
That'll look good on the replay on TV. It's second down, probably 9.5 yards to go for the Panthers. 18-7 ball game. 3 minutes, 16 seconds. Clock running. Panthers trying to add to an 11-point lead. Looks like they're going to get this first victory of the 87th season on opening night. Jumper, option right side. He's hit and he's down in the backfield. It's going to be second down or third down, and now about 12 yards to go. Fine defensive play. They wouldn't let Tommy get around the corner.
Shane Pierce, the left tackle for the Leopards, knifed through and grabbed Tommy. And that's a shame as far as Benton is concerned, because if he'd have gotten past him and been able to get the pitch to Lincoln, there was a lot of room over there for Craig to roll.
So it'll be third down and a little over 10 yards to go. And near side of the field is Scott Long. Ken Keith, the sophomore, has the assignment of looking long in the eyes, or in his case, looking long in the chest. Keith giving away a lot of height. Jumper looks the other way. He wants to throw the ball, looking, the pressure's on, it's tipped and it's incomplete. Trying to set up just a little screen to the right side, maybe to Shellnut, but Malvern smelled it out, and that's where those tall defensive linemen come into play, and they just did a great job of really blocking Tommy's vision.
Malvern sent the trees in, 6'5", 6'6", and 6'3", and Tommy's about 6 feet tall, but when those guys start holding those arms up, it's pretty tough to throw over them.
It's fourth down, a little over 10 yards to go, and the Panthers going to forego the field goal and go for this. Cornwell goes wide to the right side. Long splits about 5 yards. Line of scrimmage up the tackle and goes to the left side. Jumper. Option near side. Beautiful fake, cuts upfield. Beautiful move inside the 15, but he's inside the 20, but he's not going to have a first down as he's bound down to the 19. Tommy's something to watch in open field, but he had a lot of real estate to gain that time. Needed 10. Made a beautiful play fake as he came to the right side.
You know, a lot of people kind of wonder why Coach Veit has Tommy returning punts, but he's got some of the best hands on the team, and he's also very shifty in open field. He showed it there.
So it's Malvern's going to do anything. They have to do it and quick. A little over 2 minutes to play, and they trail by 11 points. And they're 80 yards away from pay dirt. Let's see if the Benton defense can shut them down. Well, one touchdown they've allowed tonight. Malvern has moved the ball. In the backfield, all kinds of mix-up, and down goes the back. It'll be second down, 10 yards to go. I see Bill Lincoln, Shellnut, host of defenders, and it looks like that loss was as much due to Malvern's incompetence on offense. Little confusion in the backfield.
I was also confused, and so was Greg Mundy. I thought he made a great play there throwing Mr. Murdoch for a 2-yard loss, but unfortunately, he tackled the wrong guy.
It'll be second down, 11 yards to go. Down on the sidelines there, Bob Edmondson, next to one of those big senior linemen. Mr. Rivers there is shifting away. Let's check in with Bob down on the sideline.
Yes, he is. You might notice he has a big leg brace on his left leg. He hurt that in the early part of the ball game, but he got it doctored up at halftime, and he's been doing a great job on that offensive line here in the second quarter of play. And the question now, guys, is who will be the most valuable player?
I don't know. We're ready for your vote there. It'll be second down. We'll get you a vote in this before we're done. So it'll be second down, 11 yards to go. Saline Electric. They're the ones behind the most valuable player of the game award, and really it's up for grabs right now. Several Panthers have played a good ball game, and we'll just have to break the tie here sometime. Still time for someone to win it here. Second down, call it 10 yards to go, and hello in the backfield. Kirk Shellnut blitzing from his linebacker spot, nailed the quarterback. Called a loss of 3 or 4 yards, and call it now 3rd and 14. Oh, that's something a linebacker waits for all night.
You talked about earlier tonight how Shellnut's kind of a version of the Callahan-Hill duo last year in the fact that he is playing halfback and linebacker. I remember several times last year Brian Callahan and Corey Hill blitzing through on plays like that and making a play like that. Kirk looks like he can do it pretty good too.
Third down, quarterback option. There goes the football on the ground. Rose somehow picks it up. He's greeted by 4 Panthers. Right there early was Mundy. Then after Mundy got through, another group of Panthers. Kelsey Dedman, Bill Lincoln, Shellnut. Just about the whole defense was there. Great penetration, and it'll be 4th down as they just pushed him back. It'll be 4th and about 11 for Malvern. And we are 30 seconds away from victory number 1. The votes are pouring in on this MVP. Bob Edmondson will play a big role in that balloting. Could be the guy you're standing next to down the sideline, Bob. There goes the snap over the punter's head into the end zone, and Wade Daggett just backs out of the end zone for the safety. 20-7. So it'll go down with 30 seconds left in the ball game. It'll go in the books. If it ends this way, 20-7, and you'd probably think, well, they hit a couple of point afters. Actually, 3 touchdowns and a safety. 20-7. Outside of that play, really, David Alpe's young Malvern Leopard team has really done a pretty good job avoiding the big mistake.
I tell you, the Leopards, Coach White said, if we beat this team, he said, it would be something to be proud of. And I agree with that now. I've never known Malvern to field a bad football team. Some years the numbers might not have been that good, but they've always been competitive. And this team, with the number of seniors they have starting, only 5, they're going to be awful tough if Benton plays them next year.
Oh, quickly down to the sidelines of Bob Edmondson. Right in there. He looks like he's a member of the defense there with all the big guys. I see him right next to Kelsey Dedman on the sideline.
A lot of big guys down here, and what's the vote so far on the MVP?
I don't know, but I hear rumors that you're going to dress out as kind of a feature for the radio station and get in there with Dedman and Long and play a little defensive tackle 1 week during practice for Benton.
Oh, I guess we could probably work that out. I have to get my life insurance paid up. I guess I could wear either 00 or 99, huh?
Time running out at C.W. Lewis Stadium on game number 1. It's a 27 Benton lead, and they're now preparing to receive the free kick. Robert McNeely wants a shot at this football. He waves everybody up and says, it's mine. He takes it at the 32, to the 35, to the 40, 45, 47, 50. Robert plays a little piggyback as he takes a few Leopards to midfield. So it'll be 1st and 10. With the clock down to 4 seconds to go. And rolling. That is it. Panthers win it 20-7. We'll be back to some of the post-game show, but first let's take this 60-second break. The score, Benton 20, Malvern 7.
Can you hear me? I don't know. I guess I have to go with Jumper for leadership.
At C.W. Lewis Stadium. The balloting continues on the MVP. to be voting on a win. 20-7. It wasn't easy. David Alpe's Leopards put up a fight, but the Panthers were equal to the challenge. They come out in the second half after a rough start in the second half, the first offensive series, put things together and really had things put away. 20-7 the final. Let's send it down quickly now to Bob Edmondson on the field.
Well, Steve, what's going on right now, if you've never been to C.W. Lewis Stadium and since Dwight Fite has been the head coach here the past 2 seasons, the football players, the pep steppers, cheerleaders are all standing in front of the crowd and saluting the crowd. You know, during the game, the crowd here cheers for the players, and after each game, win, lose, or draw, I guess you could say, the Panthers salute the crowd, and that's what's going on right now.
Well, I'm a Dwight Fite backer. Like this, and I like that little tradition where the players at the end of the quarter come streaming down the sideline. Oh, yeah. Kelsey Dedman and Mr. Frogue exchanging high fives. I don't know how far Frogue can get off the ground, but he got up pretty good there. 20-7, the final. Benton takes Malvern. The MVP on its way, but first, this 60-second break. Most valuable player. It went to a runoff. Boy, plenty of candidates. Tommy Jumper played well. Scott Long, a couple of big catches. Bobby Van Cleve all over those tackle charts. We went with the senior who went both ways tonight in the backfield, Craig Lincoln. A couple of big runs in the third quarter. Did a good job tonight on both sides of the ball. Weathered through a little cramp in the third quarter, and he's our Saline Electrical Supply MVP for this game. I got to tell you, though, it was awfully close. Tommy Jumper received some real late support in western Saline County, or where we're at. But we went, Edmondson down to the sidelines there, said, boy, it's really tough. But we know, even though Jumper had a very good ball game, that he can have a great game down the line, and will. And we just don't want to, slight him here.
Craig Lincoln did a good job. He stabilized the secondary.